This is not going to be a long, drawn-out video about my body transformation. This is going to be a quick, realistic 5-year transformation video. I can make a longer one in the future, probably will, but I just want you lot to get motivation from this video. So I started off my body transformation in 2019. I was fat, I was insecure, and I started off trying to cut straight away. So I went into 2019 and cutted straight away, and I lost about 35 pounds, and I was skinny then, and I hadn't even got in the gym at that point. So what happened was, October 2019, I started going to the gym, started building some muscle or whatever, and started bulking. Went into a quick bulk, then I was bulking until January of that year. Then I started my job, and then I stopped training as consistently. Then Corona came. So then at that point, I thought I need to cut because I'm fat as fuck. I need to cut. So I cutted and I made a mistake of not having enough protein in my diet at this time. My protein was very low. I wasn't eating the greatest, but I was cutting and it was like, if it fits your macros, but with no protein. So I leaned down a lot that year to a very skinny weight, to like 167, something ridiculous. Looking back now, that's a ridiculous weight for me. 167 pounds, and then I was shivering. My head was fucked. I couldn't even function. I was going to college at that point. I couldn't even get to college at that point because my mind was so fucked. So I was having migraines and I couldn't function, and I was shivering all the time and I was freezing, and I went into a quick bulk. I put on quite a bit of weight, but I remember just feeling better about myself. And then because my mind was so fucked up at this time, we're getting into 2021 now, end of 2020 into 2021, I thought I need to cut again. So I bulked up and I cut again. And then I cut again and cut again and cut again, and got in slightly better shape, to the point I wasn't holding a ridiculous amount of muscle because I didn't spend time building muscle at that time. I was just trying to cut. And bear in mind, the gyms weren't open at this time. So I was just training at home, body weight, just training at home. I had a shit pull-up bar that my dad just put up between two ladders. He just put a steel pipe in between two ladders, and that was good enough. And I was focusing on one-arm push-ups and all that, and one-arm pull-ups, trying to do them. I could near enough do them, and it was a different time back then. But I couldn't build the physique that I want. Also, I didn't want to go above a certain body fat percentage. So naturally, your body fat percentage is going to go up. So I went up at the start of 2021, and I literally cut down quick. I cut down very quick, to the point I think I lost over a stone in a month. It was crazy, like a month and a half I lost a stone, and then I just looked skinny. But I looked better than I did before, but I had a bit more size, but it wasn't right. And then later on that year, I was able to start going to the gym again as the COVID restrictions stopped. So I was training at home fairly all right, not that consistent, not pushing myself that hard. I was leanish, and then I started bulking again. So this is literally how your journey goes. You start cutting, and then you realize what you do wrong. And then I started bulking, and then I bulked quite a bit for that time. So I bulked a little bit. It was partly because I was allowed to go out then and drink this alcohol, and I started getting a bit of attention from my physique, from my body, from women, and I wasn't even that big. And that was a beautiful time for me at that point, because it felt like the hard work was paying off. So I literally am in decent shape then at that time for my standards. I started getting attraction, all this, and it was a nice time. And then I started bulking, and people started saying, oh, you look strong, you look massive, all this. I rushed that bulk. So I bulked up until December time, but it wasn't a proper bulk. It was a lot of alcohol, it was a lot of shit food, it was a lot of just eating loads for the sake of it and just enjoying myself, basically. And then I started cutting down 2022 at the start of it. This year was the best year in regards to leaning down and getting ripped and all that. And I actually took a different approach this year. So this year I cut it down quick again, because I didn't want to be above a certain body fat percentage. Cut it down quick. And then I realized I'm absolutely starving. I am really hungry. And then I thought, what happens if I up my calories to around maintenance level of calories, and I just burn the rest off through steps, and just basically calculate my calories based on my steps? I thought that, and I started doing that and eating more, and I got in my best physique at that time. Felt like I looked amazing then, which was beautiful. I looked amazing at that time for me then, and I got a lot of compliments, a lot of confidence and all this, and that was a beautiful time. And that was my best shape at that point in time, where I actually felt like I actually got quite ripped, which is beautiful. And that was the first time I ever took my shirt off in public. I've never done that before that. I was too insecure, too scared to do that. I'd go into a bulk again, And this time I took the bulk a bit slower, and I only put on like a stone. But it was dirty bulk again. So it was a dirty bulk. I was eating shit food, and it wasn't a good bulk really. It was slow and gradual, but it was shit food. So then what do? The next year I still hadn't learned from my mistake. I cut down, and I cut down fairly slowly though this time. That's where the difference is. I cut down slowly, and I was able to achieve my best physique that year as well. And I was in my most ripped condition that I've ever been in. And that was a beautiful time. I was in the best shape. I thought I looked amazing. I looked brilliant. I took it up to the next level, but I didn't have enough muscle. And this is where it actually clicked into my mind that I haven't spent enough time bulking, and I haven't done bulking right. So I would have been training 4 years in actual gym training, not that long. Because even through 2019, 2020, 2021, and even into 2022, until the winter months of 2022, I was training shit. I was in training once or twice per week. I wasn't even training properly, barely 3 times. I was progressively overloaded, but not training properly. So my results weren't even that crazy. Up in it in winter time, 2022. And then my calories weren't the best. I weren't eating the best, and it was shit food. Even when I cut down into 2023, I looked a lot better. My composition looked a lot better, but I hadn't spent enough time bulking. I started bulking in July of last year, and this was where I really understood how to bulk properly. And I spent about 7 months bulking. 7 months bulking, slowly, steadily, and trying to stay lean, trying to do it in the right way. And I went up to 193 pounds, and I was a little bit chubby, a little bit fat. So then I thought, oh, I need to cut again this year. But this year I cut it very slow. I slowly cut around January, just slowly. And then I hit around 180 pounds lean, quite ripped. Not like insanely ripped, but a good amount of leanness. And then I just started fluctuating in weight, fluctuating, and just started trying to go up a little bit. And I went up a little bit, and then I'll just cut down and stay around this buffer of around 185 pounds. So just went up like glycogen, all that, just after a cut, looking decent. And 187 around that range, stayed around 188, 185 pounds. That was me this year. I was around that weight around summertime, and I looked good. I went ridiculously ripped, but I looked good. And then I started bulking again, and now I'm around 193 pounds. And still fairly lean, still look decent. Not as ripped, obviously, but still fairly lean. Feel strong, feel good, feel like I look good. And the message is going to be in this. The path is never straight. The path is never just directly forward. There's a lot of bumps in the road with your body transformation, and this video is just a quick one. I'm just trying to speed run it just so you lot know that there's ups and downs on this journey. It's not just a straight line. It's not a straight line. It's hard for it to go completely amazing. It's hard for it to go amazing and for you to know everything. But I'm happy now that I'm in a position where I feel like I've achieved a good natural physique, and people give me compliments a lot. I'm very happy about that now, and it's a beautiful thing. But I started off fat, insecure, hating myself. And it just shows what you can do when you put your mind to it. And you need to bear in mind my training for the first three years, I would say. For the first 3 years was not consistent at all. You had Corona 2 years in between that, so I could only train at home. And then you take into account fucking mental health and all this shit and eating bad. And then that's what you get. But what I have done during that time is staying consistent. Just trying to improve a little bit, to the point you actually achieve a physique where you're proud, happy with. And I'm not saying I've got the best physique in the world, but what I am saying is I've done well from where I started. And that's the main thing. You got to compare yourself to yourself on this journey. You can't compare yourself to other people with this. At the end of the day, it's your journey. And what you put in, you will get out. And that's what I found. When I'm more disciplined with training, I'm consistent. Like these past 2 years, I've been very consistent, even whilst bulking. I've got amazing results. And this past year, I've had the best results. And it's just gradually going to get better and better. But the message is going to be, it's never going to be the same as someone else's journey. It's your journey, way it does. But if you keep trying and you keep applying yourself, you will achieve a physique that you're proud of, that you're happy of, that you can attract women, that you can attract friends, that you can attract different people in your life that people respect. That's going to be the true message. It's not as easy as you think, but if you keep chipping away, you can build a physique that you like and that you're happy with and that you're proud with. And that's going to be a true message in this video. If you lot want your results fast-tracked and you don't have to waste as much time where I fucked up on bulking, on cutting, on all these areas, shoot me an email at reallouis23@gmail.com and we can start working together and I can coach you. Hope you lot got a lot of value. Thank you.